Hello and welcome to IU NewsNet Daily. I'm Catherine Patterson. Today we bring you the latest on that tragic school shooting in Tennessee, and you'll hear about 2 Greek life organizations facing disciplinary consequences.
And I'm Abby Haymond. We'll also bring you up to speed on Little 500 qualifications and IU's baseball season.
And the story of female firefighters who are making history. NewsNet Daily begins now. Police continue searching for the motive of an armed shooter who opened fire at a private Christian elementary school in Nashville, Tennessee yesterday, leaving 7 people dead, including the suspect. The attack killed 3 students and 3 staff members. Police killed the suspect, a 28-year-old former student of the school, according to NBC News. Police said the shooter was armed with 2 assault-like rifles and a handgun. Officials originally said suspect Audrey Hale was female, though recent looks at the suspect's LinkedIn suggest Hale was a transgender man. IU sorority Alpha Phi, which was placed on a cease and desist order in late February, has now been moved to interim directives. According to the IU authorities, the sorority cannot participate in activities with or without alcohol. Their investigation into hazing is ongoing, but no longer an immediate threat to the community. Meanwhile, the fraternity Delta Upsilon joins the growing list of Greek houses on cease and desist orders because of hazing. They join 4 other houses on the highly restrictive measure, meaning they cannot participate in any Greek life events. IU's traditional powwow event is set for this Saturday. It starts at 10 a.m. in Wilkinson Hall. IU's First Nations Educational and Cultural Center puts on the powwow along with the Native American Student Association. The powwow includes traditional music, dancing, arts and crafts, and food. There will also be vendors on site selling items like blankets, art, and jewelry. This is the 11th annual IU powwow. For more on the powwow etiquette, visit firstnations.indiana.edu. There are new developments concerning City Council candidate and IU student David Wolf Bender. Bender is under investigation based on claims that his candidate form, address, and his actual residence do not match. According to the IDS, the Monroe County Election Board met last week and set a hearing date for May 18th. Bender said earlier this month that he intends to withdraw from the race after the primary election. If the board finds that Bender filed a fraudulent report, the police could potentially charge him with a level 6 felony. And now more on the bright side. Turning to sports, we have Abby Haymond to get us up to speed on Hoosier athletics.
That's right, Catherine. The world's greatest college weekend is quickly approaching here at IU, and we've got a preview of what that is this weekend. Saturday, the official qualification rounds for Little 500 took place. If we learned one thing during quals, it's that many of the top contending teams were separated by very thin margins, which should no doubt make for a thrilling Little 500 race. The men's teams were led by Cutters with a time of 2:26.549, followed by Sigma Phi Epsilon and Sigma Alpha Epsilon in third. Turning to the women's, Alpha Chi Omega led the heats with a time of 2:54.551, and Teeter right behind them at 2:55.771, and Kappa Alpha Theta in third. 33 men's teams and 27 women's teams qualified and will now begin individual and team time trials taking place over the next 3 weeks. So what exactly are the riders up to as they prepare for this big weekend? Let's take a look. Better known as the Spring Series events, riders will participate in 3 different competitions, earning points for their teams based on how well they perform. This week is individual time trials. Each rider completes 4 consecutive laps and then are ranked based on their times. Next week is Missin' Out, a bracket-style competition where riders are put into groups based on their individual times, with 1 rider eliminated after each round. This continues in the bracket-style format until the top 3 riders remain, who will then complete a final lap to determine the champion. Finally, there is Team Pursuit. This is the week before the race. This is a timed 15-lap race between 2 teams. The 2 teams with the fastest times in the competition will then compete for the Team Pursuit Championship. And Catherine, there is definitely a busy week for bikers in the next few weeks. And
yeah, I mean, I've seen people in my neighborhood riding bikes since August. And
That's
I've kind
right.
of been confused as to why, but I mean, there are a ton of events coming up that they've needed to prepare for.
yes, so
all
much
year.
preparation that goes into it that we don't really realize. Lots of behind the scenes events. But Little 5 is not the only athletics going on here at IU this past weekend. And for more on Indiana baseball's latest series sweep, here's Tyler Vondry.
Thank you, Abby. IU men's baseball completed a 3-game sweep over the Ohio State Buckeyes this past weekend. The Hoosiers' offense has been red hot of late. In 4 games leading up to the weekend, the Hoosiers had knocked in 49 runs, and that offensive explosion continued against Ohio State. The Hoosiers took down the Buckeyes 14-6. After Ohio State's 6-run first inning, it was all Indiana. Freshman Tyler Kearney went 2 for 5 with a home run and 2 RBIs. On Sunday, the Hoosiers faced off against the Buckeyes again, and this time a doubleheader. The Hoosiers took care of business again, winning 9-6 in the first game, and then 7-5 in the game 2. The Hoosiers' offense continues to roll as the Hoosiers are riding a 7-game win streak and look to continue it today as they host Kent State. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Tyler. We're going to leave you with some good news today. With the end of Women's History Month approaching, a St. Louis fire department has made history. For the first time in a century and a half, there's been an all-female fire crew in Missouri. 4 women make up this crew. It includes Pamela Saunders Isaac, Nicole McKinney, Jessica Jackson, and Elizabeth McCormick. And they're hopeful that there will be more women firefighters in the future. Right now, there's only 12 firefighters that are female in St. Louis, which is such an amazing feat. So cool.
Yeah, I've never seen that before personally. That's super interesting.
Yes, it's very exciting. That's a wrap for today's IU NewsNet Daily. Tune in for the latest updates on all Hoosier news and sports.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram at IUNND.
For IU NewsNet Daily, I'm Catherine Patterson.
And I'm Abby Heyman. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.